Kwame Anthony Appiah articulates two foundational principles within cosmopolitan ethics. Firstly, he asserts that our ethical responsibilities stretch beyond our immediate circles and even surpass the boundaries of shared citizenship. Secondly, Appiah underscores the importance of attributing value to humanity in concrete, individual lives, people who might remain strangers to us. As a corollary to this second assertion, Appiah contends that valuing others isn't solely an abstract, categorical duty, as suggested by Kantian philosophy's injunction that individuals should be treated as ends in themselves. Instead, he advocates for valuing others due to the mutual enrichment that emerges from our interactions. This perspective becomes particularly relevant in our contemporary world, marked by fragmented cultural narratives, where the guise of globalization often entails forceful impositions that threaten cultural traditions and disenfranchise diverse populations. The pursuit of shared meaning amid the imposition of a one-size-fits-all paradigm and the dominance of powerful imperial influences requires navigating through skepticism and uncertainty. Appiah's introductory chapter vividly portrays an almost modern exemplar of a cosmopolitan figure. Sir Richard Francis Burton, 1821–1890, known for translating the Kama Sutra into English and hailed as a polymath due to his diverse accomplishments encompassing roles as a writer, explorer, ethnologist, and linguist proficient in 39 languages. Among others, Burton embodied an iconic allure during an era obsessed with exotic fascination and personal refinement. Appiah points out that despite being a product of his time's prejudices, Burton also displayed a capacity for passionate advocacy, as seen in his defense of marginalized groups, such as his refutation of objections to Mormonism. Burton's complex character, capable of engaging with diverse societies while not necessarily approving or adopting their practices, serves as a counterargument to the notion that familiarity inherently leads to harmony. In presenting Burton's multifaceted nature, Appiah implicitly poses a challenge. He prompts readers to ponder how society can tolerate individuals like Burton, erudite and conscientious students of global cultures, yet marred by deeply ingrained prejudices. This inquiry resonates within a world where differences, whether real or perceived, present formidable challenges. Appiah's work, then, functions as a comprehensive and introspective exploration of an idea as ancient as it is relevant today: cosmopolitanism, which traces its origins back to Greek cynicism in the 4th century BCE. This isn't a comparative analysis of competing ethical doctrines. Rather, Appiah employs storytelling to vividly illustrate the values intrinsic to a cosmopolitan perspective. When Appiah delves into discussions about positivism and the moral relativism it advocates, he doesn't engage in intricate philosophical debates. Instead, he employs these concepts to underscore that personal values are never independent of external influences. They are interwoven into rituals and customs, binding communities across time. Appiah doesn't construct a mere straw man when addressing positivism. He acknowledges that it is plagued by the limitations of its own assumptions. His focus rests on the notion of the individual detached from their roots, endowed with idealized discernment, a central tenet of positivism. Appiah contends that facts are inseparable from the values that underpin them. As a result, facts can't be entirely divorced from subjective truth. To genuinely interrogate facts, Appiah argues, necessitates an examination of our values first. Belief shapes perception, rather than the reverse. A pivotal aspect of cosmopolitan competence, integral to understanding the viewpoints of others, lies in the revival of cross-cultural storytelling. These narratives are the conduits through which our values solidify, intertwined with the facts that complete the holistic panorama of these values. Kwame Anthony Appiah embodies this belief in the power of storytelling by recounting tales from his own diverse cultural heritage. In doing so, he demonstrates that no foreign landscape should be approached with a singular perspective, as Sir Burton might have done with unwavering mastery upon encountering it. Instead, there exists a myriad of paths leading to and from the same nexus of shared meaning among people. Appiah emphasizes that while we possess diverse stories, we inhabit a single world. He underscores that one of the central human ways of learning to align our response to the world is to evaluate stories collectively, page 29. Through sharing our stories and listening to others, Appiah notes that we refine our evaluative vocabulary, poised to function in our lives. This evaluative work, he contends, primarily aids us in acting in concert, page 30. Appiah rejects the notion of valuing infinite truths individually, arguing against ascribing this trait to a well-adjusted individual. He also cautions against embracing a world where individuals each follow their own self-satisfied paths. Yet, Appiah's otherwise captivating exploration might not fully acknowledge the significance of moral courage and reactionary psychological defensiveness. The shift from sensational fascination like the conservative preoccupation with gay lives and practices to informed detachment is no trivial feat. Such shifts demand intense efforts, as seen in instances where labor unionists confront formidable obstacles or marginalized communities face systemic discrimination and depletion of essential resources. Appiah's counsel focuses on reason as a remedy for bruised spirits amid conflicts, although he departs from Kantian idealism, which holds reason as a precursor to experience, anchored in rigid principles of duty and the like. According to Appiah, reason emerges from an ever-evolving ability to delve beneath surface expressions of custom and preference, delving into the personal connections between meaning and experience. Curiously, reason often seems to desert us in situations we deem less perilous than encounters with the exotic unknown. Driven by conditioning and our inherent proclivity for aggression, we frequently overestimate our cultural acumen, and our presumptions often betray our lack of understanding. Our privilege, often concealed like a shadow beneath our presumptuousness, becomes apparent in numerous instances. Literature and life abound with examples of such folly.